the mixed martial arts workout. MMA can be fantastic for conditioning. Really awesome. It's a dynamic form of strength building where your body builds the kind of strength that's really useful in day-to-day life, where whatever challenges you might meet, you've got a diverse pool of strength to draw from, and explosive strength, structural strength, endurance, all of these key factors that will really give you a sensation of being fit and powerful in your day-to-day. Now, there are a few things you want to keep in mind when thinking about MMA as a fitness tool. One is just doing MMA doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get in great shape. The rule of any form of exercise is effort in, results out. So if you're training MMA but you're approaching it at kind of a sort of mellow, casual pace, you'll get some results, but it won't be amazing. Now, if you approach it with the kind of intensity that fighters do, then you'll see really remarkable results. You'll get lean, fit, have a lot of strength and endurance, and really get all of the results you might imagine. As a fitness tool, there's a few things you want to keep in mind, though. And one of the main things is, if you're training to be in better shape, to feel powerful and confident and fit in your day-to-day life, then you want to minimize the risk of significant injury. Now, if fitness is your primary focus, that means de-emphasizing sparring when you're doing the mixed martial arts training. I personally would recommend sparring just because you're training in these combative self-defense skills, so why not develop that skill? But if you really don't see a need for that or desire that, then really de-emphasize sparring. Avoid any uncontrolled striking where you might get injured. It's not very common, but it can happen. And if you run into that issue of doing this thing to make yourself stronger, but then an injury derails you, then it's really running at cross purposes. Now, if you fall into the category, as many do, of wanting to get in great shape, but also appreciating the benefits of being able to defend yourself, then still you're going to manage the intensity level of the sparring. You want to be training under realistic pressure and really testing out those skills to make sure that they're going to work for you, but you still want to minimize the risk of injury to yourself. The really heavy, intense sparring is what you'd use if you're actually training to compete or fight on a regular basis. And part of that is just hardening yourself and conditioning yourself to that level of intensity, so it's not going to blow your circuits once you get into it. Now, most people who train to compete, they're not going to spar at that level of intensity on a regular basis because, again, if you're getting injured while training, you end up missing out on the opportunity to even compete. So the intensity level of the sparring is the main thing that you look at managing wherever you fall on the spectrum of training in mixed martial arts. Just to be in great shape, then you really minimize the sparring, just light, sort of playful stuff. To wanting self-defense, then okay, you spar, but you control the intensity level and frequency to minimize risk of injury. To you're really going to try and compete at a high level, then you need to train at that level of intensity so that you're at least experienced with it. So that's how you use mixed martial arts as a tool for fitness.